A warm welcome to a very special edition of the Magpie Circle live YouTube and Twitter show this evening. Not only are we all gripped by playoff fever as we prepare for the visit of Chesterfield on Saturday to Meadow Lane, also tonight it is the inaugural Golden Magpies. You've heard of the Golden Globes, the Oscars, now the Golden Magpies, and assisting me this evening as we make a variety of awards, and we're hoping to have as many of the recipients joining us live as possible. And in the best philosophies of all of these things, whether it will all work with the technology, we shall have to wait and see. But firstly, welcome to Beth Curzon. Beth, welcome.
Thank you for having me on again.
Yeah, good to see you. And Chloe, hot-footing it from the ticket office at Meadow Lane to be with us this evening. You're always very popular, but I guess you're even more popular right now.
Yeah, well, for the people that have got tickets, I imagine I am, but maybe that'll change people's minds on Wednesday if they don't manage to get them.
Well, we know that tickets are going very well. Lots to get through tonight. We'll talk a little bit about Bromley. We'll focus on Chesterfield coming up. Chloe can give us a bit of an update on tickets. But we have got 7 Golden Magpies to present this evening. And we're going to kick off the show with the goal of the season. Now, most of these categories have been very, 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 very closely contested. I think it's fair to say the biggest surprise is that the winner, and we won't reveal it just yet in case you can't work it out. The biggest surprise is they actually only got 81.3% of the vote, which means if my maths is correct, 18.7% of those who cast a vote went for another goal other than the obvious. So in reverse order, we had Jake Reeves's goal against Yeovil. This is the Jake Reeves show. Jake Reeves against Kings Lynn. That was a pile driver. Man of the moment, Ruben Rodriguez for his free kick with Altrincham, but with 81.3% of the vote. It couldn't be anything else, really, could it? Was Eli Sam's, whatever you call it, scorpion reverse kick volley? I don't know. 81% of the vote. Beth, no surprises that Eli won that one, is it?
No surprises. Although I would have thought it'd be higher, like you said. I suppose it just goes to show how many good goals we've had this season. But that's a clear winner, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. What do you think of the goal when you saw it go in, Chloe?
I wish I was there. The first thing I thought as soon as it went in, I think a full Meadow Lane when that goes in. I compare it to, when Doyle scored against Dagenham, it was from the halfway line. And it was a Tuesday night at Meadow Lane. Not many people were actually there. I think only the Derek Pavers was open, and obviously the Cyril for the away fans. And a lot of people have left because we'd end up having to go to Dagenham, I think, again, if we'd have drawn. And a lot of people have left, and there was probably less than 2,000 people there, and you never heard anything like it. So, yeah, I wish I was there for it, but you can't take it away from it. It was a great goal.
It's a hypothetical one, Beth. If they'd been scored in the same season, would you have gone for the aforementioned Michael Doyle halfway line special or Eli Sam's kick?
Purely on technique and the fact that I don't know how it happened, Sam's goal, because I just don't think it's one of those ones that you can only dream of scoring. I think that the same for both of them, to be honest, but I don't actually get the physics behind it, so I think that I'd probably tip it a little bit for me.
So you would go for who? Sorry,
Sam,
would you? Who do you have gone for, given the choice of the two, if you had to vote for one of them, Chloe?
Sam, even though Doyle's was a great goal, I've seen a lot more of them over different leagues, and you see them going around Twitter and they go viral, but I've not seen many like Sam's, so yeah. But both obviously in the cup games as well, so maybe there'd have been a different winner had it been a league game, but yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Kevin J.S. Duska Jr., greetings from Montreal or Canada or wherever. Doyle, without a doubt, due to the emotion of it all. Stephen Orton, good evening, everyone. Been a great debut season for the Magpie Circle. Here's to many more. Thank you. Paul Edgar, evening all. Mark Reed, looking forward to the awards. Pythagoram, who has been running a campaign for the Ricardo Moniz podcast. He didn't make the shortlist, and Pythagoram was very concerned about that one. Such was the high quality of the field. Right. That's the goal of the season done. Also, well, what a lot of football is about are the fans, and clearly, fans, all of us. It's been a pretty difficult season for all of us watching on the streams. So one thing we wanted to do was to have a fan of the season award, and it's probably been the single most popular award that we've had. We had over 130 different nominations for people, which is a lot. And there were some great stories behind all of them, and many interesting stories that I'm going to pull up one or two now if I can look up at this. People like Terry Taylor was nominated. He's been battling with chemo and radiotherapy, but still managed to watch all the matches on the stream this year. We've had people like Chris Buckley for his work on the Pride of Nottingham website. Chloe, you got a few. Beth, you got a few. I got a few. And had I come from the Alan Hardy School of Narcissism, I can't even say it, I would have obviously given the award to myself, but clearly I haven't. But thank you to all of you that did put me forward. Jane Briggs, been supporting them for 54 years. Mum, dad, grandparents. I've had quite a few of those where people have 3 or 4 generations of supporting the club. Patricia Akers going above and beyond the past 14 months to bring us news about the club, and also for keeping Notts County Football Club Official Supporters Association. And really the list goes on and on. And on another occasion, I will share with them more. But joining us now, I'm hoping he's joining us now. He should be now coming onto our screens, is going to be the inaugural recipient of our Fan of the Season award. Our winner is Brandon Chambers. There we go. Nice little graphic. Brandon.
How are you doing? You all right?
Well, relieved, because A, you've managed to join us, B, you can manage to hear me, and C, I can manage to hear you. So it's a hat trick. Brandon, congratulations. You are the inaugural Golden Magpie Fan of the Season. So well done. There's a little bit of a backstory to this, isn't there, Brandon? Because a year ago, you suffered quite disgracefully at the hands of the trolls and social media people.
Yeah.
Notts County players got behind you, and you've continued ongoing your support to Notts County. And it's almost been in reverse with what happened, unfortunately, to Enzio with Maurice Ross, and Maurice Ross lost his role at the club. Just take me back 10 or so months ago to the particular challenges that you had to face, and how the Notts County community, family and players supported you.
Yeah, so it was probably like a year ago, actually, to the day next week. And I just posted a video, a photo, and then within minutes I got quite a few comments, a bit of racist comments, and then literally within a couple of hours I had Notts County players messaging me, ex-players, current players, just offering the support, really. And it was a really challenging time, because that was the first real time I experienced it. I didn't know how to go about it, how to feel. I didn't know how I should be allowed to feel. and the fact it was made so public online gave me like exposure to actually, I felt quite vulnerable. Then very quickly I felt like I had a lot of support and I had a lot of love from fans and obviously from the players as well.
Because you're a proper Notts County fan. You I don't know whether you know this, but you live fairly close to me. Not that that's got anything to do with the award. You're a Gedlin lad. You went to the same school, Carlton Willis, as my lad. Talk to me about your affinity with Notts County.
Yeah, so my granddad supported Notts County. And originally I wanted to be a Man United fan. I wanted to grow up watching like Rooney and Ronaldo and all them. Like,
there's too many. They're common, loads of them.
Yeah, and I got told straight away that wasn't going to happen. So I got down to Notts County when I was about 8 years old. I used to go fishing, and then we used to go to the game as well. And then since then I've been hooked. My mum involved. My mum then met her husband down at Notts County. He used to be Mrs. Magpie, so it runs through the family now. So yeah, it's been about a good 16, 17 years.
Very good, very good. I guess with what happened to you last season, or the start of last season, end of last season, start of this season, what do you think when we had all the shenanigans with Maurice Ross and the stories in the paper about, you know, the treatment of Enzia?
Obviously, there's two sides to the story, and you can only obviously comment on what you know. I feel like it's probably helped though him actually leaving. I think it's galvanised the players, and you can show that everyone stuck by Enzio, and I think you could tell when he scored against Weymouth that all the fans sang his name. I mean, that was probably the loudest cheer I've heard at Notts in ages. I mean, all the players went straight over to him. So I think obviously why it's horrible what happened to him. I think it has helped him, and it's also helped the club as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're an all-round football man, aren't you? I was looking on some of your social media, and you're involved with running a junior or a senior football team now yourself?
Yeah, I'm club secretary for St Anderson Football Club. My granddad set it up about 10, 15 years ago, so I'm involved in that one now.
Did you play, or you just fill the forms in?
I just do the forms and the coaching right now. I try a bit of five-a-side every now and again as well.
Good. Looking forward to Saturday?
Oh yeah, can't wait. I've already got my tickets. I'm in the cop, so fingers crossed we'll get through and get to play Torquay.
Brandon, thank you ever so much for joining us, because obviously we couldn't let anyone know too much, so we literally contacted you and some of the other recipients about 2 hours ago. So yeah. Thank you ever so much for making the time. Pleased to be the inaugural Magpie Circle Supporter of the Year.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, well, don't thank us. Thank everyone that's been voting and putting those nominations in. Very well deserved. We have got the trophies, but COVID, we haven't got them arrived yet. So we can pop them around your house from where I am. So it's nice and easy. Brandon, thank you ever so much for joining us this evening. Thank you for sticking with Notts. I know it's been a difficult period for you, but I think it was great that the Notts County family rallied round you, you know, and you've always been made to feel welcome at Meadow Lane.
Yeah, definitely, always.
Good. All right, we will let you get on with the rest of your bank holiday, and we'll move on to the next award. But Brandon, congratulations and very well done.
That's one. Thanks a lot, Paul. Cheers.
Beth, thoughts on that?
Fantastic. Yeah. I know a couple of people, and they mentioned that they'd vote for Brandon anyway. So I had a feeling he was one of the people up there. I think everything that he's been through and the way he speaks about it is eloquent, and it's brilliant the way that the family, you know, like you mentioned, is pulled together with the players and the fans, and it just kind of shows the importance of the club and good people. So I'm very happy, and congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, some messages coming in. John Parr says, congratulations, Brandon. A.D. Clark, excellent, Brandon, well done. Kevin J.S. Duska, bravo to Brandon and all of the players who supported him. Mark Reap, awesome job, Brandon. Pythagorean, well done, Brandon. So universal support, as indeed there should be. So Brandon, congratulations, and we'll get that trophy over to you.
Lovely.
Take
Cheers.
care.
See you soon.
Okay, we move on. We move on now. It's almost like a proper show, this one, isn't it? We now move on to the Magpie Circle podcast of the season. Now, this, when we were drawing up a list and getting advice from people, There was no one outstanding contender to win this. There was a big spread. Let's put you all on the spot, just to make sure you actually watch some of these. Chloe, what was your favourite one you've seen? Because obviously you've watched every single one of them over the last year, haven't you?
I actually have, to be fair, and whether it's not been live or just even on Spotify, like when I've been on trains and stuff, it's just a really easy listen. So if it's not been live, it's been another time. But mine was always going to be Hughesy. He's probably a hero of mine from Notts. So it was an easy decision for me. But bearing in mind, there's been so many good ones. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, why wasn't this one mentioned? Why wasn't this one mentioned? But there's been that many good ones. So it was hard to narrow it down. But yeah, for me, it was the Hughesy one.
Which one did you like the most or appreciate the most, Beth?
Exactly the same as Chloe, to be honest. I knew she was going to say that as well. I think similar ages and stuff as well. We kind of grew up in that era of that success of, you know, and I think my internet cut out then, my bad. Like Chloe says, I listened to them if I'm on a walk, things like that, and I just like the inside knowledge of a player that I grew up loving. And when he spoke about, you know, his goals and the team bonding and his career, I had to choose. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, right. Well, let's go through in reverse order the top 4 as you, the fans, voted for them. So I'm just doing my maths here. In 4th was Roy Carroll. So very recent one. And I've not yet met anyone that knew Roy Carroll's dad was from Nottingham and was a big Notts fan. No one, not even Lee Curtis, who was reported about him for 3 years. And I spoke to some of his teammates. No one had a clue. Very interesting that he dropped that one in. In 3rd place, all these 3 were very, very close. Martin Allen in 3rd place. Mad Dog in his pomp for the show, without a doubt. And the stories about swimming the Trent and invading the city ground over the river are just classic Martin Allen. 2nd, big Notts man, fan, player, manager, pretty good hat trick, Sean Derry. But the winner, very unsurprisingly, is Let's All Do the Hughesy, Lee Hughes. And probably not really too much of a surprise. A hugely charismatic figure, known Lee for a long, long time. And he spoke very, very well. Great stories, as you would imagine. So Lee Hughes wins our Golden Magpie for Podcast of the Season. Okay, there's no point asking you about Lee Hughes because you've already spoke to him before that. So we will now move on to category 4, which is a Lifetime Achievement Award. This is a special category that we took a look at for people who have made a huge contribution to Notts County. And this person is someone that not only worked for Notts County for many, many, many years, and if memory serves me correctly, helped organise my dad's funeral wake at Meadow Lane in 2002. A huge fan. All her family are huge supporters of Notts County, and sadly this lady passed away a couple of months ago, but her Notts County legacy will unquestionably live on through her family. So for the Lifetime Achievement Award, many of you will have worked with her. Many of you will have seen her on the terraces up and down the country following Notts for many decades. So our Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Lorraine Wolster. And I'm delighted to say that we're joined by Lorraine's daughter and son, Tim and Daniel. They're both coming on now. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Again, thank you for joining us at such short notice. We didn't actually get in touch with you, did we, till probably about an hour before the show. I hope you were able to hear just some of the comments I was making about your late mum a couple of minutes ago. Whoever wants to go, tell me a little bit about your mum and her love for Notts County. Who wants to go first?
I'll let you go first, Dan.
So, obviously, she started working at the club from age 16, selling their scratch cards and that, working behind the scenes. And then it carried on up until the last couple of years before she wasn't able to because health became too much. But she was an avid follower, selling 50-50 tickets. I'm sure most of you know her. She was known by everybody. She worked behind the scenes in the conferencing, banqueting suite. She followed them home and away. Obviously, she introduced it to me and my sister Kim, and then I've got 3 kids myself now. So my mum's grandkids that now come home and away with me as well. So yeah, just legacy will live on and on. And obviously, just hearing these memories and what you've done tonight is just wonderful. So thank you,
Kim.
Yeah, I totally agree with Daniel. She started working at Notts back when she was 16. Everyone loved her. The memories that everyone's told us about my mum has been truly overwhelming, and it's brought us both comfort, hasn't it, Daniel?
Yeah.
Never mind, Daniel. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for the nomination for her. We both appreciate it.
I can see Lorraine, I'm guessing one of her grandchildren. Not sure.
One of them's wearing. Yeah, one of them's wearing the shirt, and the other one's there as well. So the two youngest grandchildren there, 2 of the boys that obviously my mum would do anything for. My daughter's upstairs. I don't know what she's doing. But yeah, no. So yeah, their legacy lives on. At the minute, they're pretending to be Ruben Rodriguez because obviously he's scoring all the goals at the minute. So, so yeah, that's who they're pretending to be at the minute.
Like me, my dad, my granddad. We don't have a choice in the family. With a granddad,
yeah,
you don't get a choice. What very early memories have you got going down Adelaide? Your mum.
I think just that she was known by everyone. So obviously we'd get down to the ground early to sample the atmosphere, but then we'd have to wait almost 20 minutes before we get everywhere because as we were walking through the stands and that, walking outside the ground, everyone would be stopping to see my mum and speak to my mum. So it was kind of, Mum, come on, no, I want to get into the ground. I want to see the warm up and everything. And Mum would always be like, oh, just give me 2 more minutes. So yeah, just that she knew everyone and she'd stop and talk to everyone. She'd have a word to say to everybody. So
I think I was reading online, Kim, when your mum passed away, there were many very moving messages, and she was heavily involved in all sorts of things. Notts County, I think there was some talk about she used to get involved with junior coaching sessions and all of those sorts of things.
Yeah, very true. Iris Smith and Alan Eggert used to run Monday Night Football for all the junior Magpies. And we used to do, on the odd occasion, away trips to, like, I don't know, Hereford or somewhere. We used to play their junior Magpies. So it was always on a playing field. So instead of my mum watching me and Daniel play, she decided to play time on the park in the swings and roundabouts. So yeah, and then we played Dover 2 years ago, and she went on a slide, and there's a video of her on the slide. No one else went on it but my mum. So yeah, she was a big kid at heart, bless her.
And it's great now, of course, from yourselves, your family will be carrying on the Magpies family legacy. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
most definitely. Yeah.
And you're both going to be there Saturday?
We've managed to get our tickets. Yeah,
we definitely are.
Thanks to my lovely wife. Yeah, my lovely wife had the hard task of doing the phone call. So I was at work, so I wasn't able to do it. So yeah, my wife was ringing up, and yes, thankfully she managed to get us through. So we've got tickets for the Pavis stand, Derek Pavis stand again. So yeah, we will be there on Saturday.
Daniel, Kim, thank you ever so much for joining us this evening at such short notice. As I said to Brandon earlier, we have got a trophy. It's not arrived yet, so we will be in touch with you to give you that trophy for your mum in the not too distant future. I'm in the Pavis myself. I was in the Cop last week because I booked the wrong. I'm back in the Pavis. So I'll keep an eye out for you all on Saturday. And I think your mum, as you said, Daniel, Kim, everyone knew your mum. You know, everybody knew your mum, and it was, you know, huge support for the football club. You know, her family, your families are synonymous with supporting Notts County, and that's what it's all about. You know, Notts County is a family club, and your family is a huge part of that. So thank you very much indeed for joining us. We're going to move on to the next award now, but thank you ever so much indeed, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care, Dan.
Bye.
Take care, Kim.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Chloe, you come. Well, we all do, but you come from a massive Notts County fan. Your granddad's been coming down for many decades. You don't get too much of a choice in these matters, do you?
Absolutely not. It was kind of like, my dad's a Liverpool fan, so I originally grew up watching them on TV, but my granddad got me straight down to Meadow Lane, and then ever since that day, home and away all the time. So even my dad comes down to Notts now, so the whole family now are behind Notts. So there's definitely a lot of cases like similar to mine and similar to Kim and Daniel's there. It's a massive family club, and it'll carry on for generations. So it's great to be a part of.
Lovely story there, Beth.
Yeah, really nice. Sort of similar. My granddad on my dad's side, I've never met him, but knew all the people, knew the managers and everything at the club. My dad obviously had a period of time where he was a little kid, and he was the mascot for a season, and he was allowed to train with the first team for the summer when he was a kid, and then played for the youth academy. And so it's just been in the family for so long, and the amount of old programs we have, and shirts here and there, and it's just, you don't really get a choice, do you? But thank goodness, because it's the best club you can think of supporting, isn't it, really?
Helen Westwell, what a lovely lady. Love to you, Kim. Finbo, official, you pies. Brandon Chambers, loved by many at the Lane, and many Monday night football memories. Okay, that is 4 awards down. We're almost on time. We might be having a slight technical hitch for number 5, the Recognition Award. We do have the recipient currently trying to join us. When he is able to join us, we will let you know. So we're going to just take a little bit of break from the awards. Chloe, you are the fountain of all ticket knowledge, and clearly we don't want to compromise you or anything like that. But it would appear everything going swimmingly for Saturday. We've had 2 days of season ticket sales. Tomorrow, Official Supporters Association and Lifeline can get tickets, if I am correct. And then on Wednesday, whatever is left will go on general sale. Similar policies to last time, all around the ground. Everything going smoothly. What can you tell us? What can't you tell us? Is any one particular stand almost sold out or not? Or
So it's been going really well, and it was actually great to see that when we had the Weymouth game that everyone was in their seat. So I think a few people were a little bit nervous after watching like Premier League games and people not abiding by the social distancing rules, but because everyone did stick to the rules and it was a great game, we've been allowed the same allocation again. So there's certain blocks that go on sale online, there's certain blocks that go on sale over the phones, just so that we don't sell the ones that are being sold online. It's kind of, that's how it works. But yeah, it's been going really well, very busy as usual, and I can imagine that tomorrow is just going to be the same. There's definitely going to be available tickets left for general sale. How many that will be, I don't know myself, to be honest, but all that I can say is get on the phones, get online on that Wednesday morning, and I hope everyone that wants one can get a ticket eventually.
Beth, you should be sorted tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Looks confident, and the system's fantastic. So I think most people last time got them that wanted them. There's a few that missed out, I saw, but again, the stream, and I think, am I right in saying, is it on TV? Which is of course fantastic, and that's going to be great coverage as well. So fingers crossed, everyone that wants one gets one. But like Chloe says, I did notice that people well behaved, weren't they? Which is expected because we're good fans. But it's nice to get the same allocation, and I can't wait for the noise. So
yes, I mean you would expect this to be even more of a hot ticket than the previous one. But the good news, of course, is that we have as many as last time. You're quite right, Beth. The game. In fact, all the playoff games, including the final at Ashton Gate, are now being televised live on BT Sport. So we are a 4 o'clock kickoff, 4 o'clock, not 3, on Saturday. And in the other quarter-final, when Hartlepool play Bromley, that I believe is a 2:30 kickoff and is on the Sunday. And I think we then, if we were to beat Chesterfield, we stick to a Saturday the following weekend when we would be going to Torquay. NCFC Picer didn't look much social distancing at Bromley on Saturday on the stream. I'm guessing social distancing is much easier when it comes to seats, Chloe, because when you've got a ground that is basically 90% standing, they don't say X marks the spot, do they? Everyone congregates on all those like stanchions and posts and get your place, don't you? And everyone's on them. So it's I know what NCFC Pie is saying. It always looks a bit odd, social distancing in a stadium where it's mostly standing.
Yeah, definitely. I don't obviously know how they worked it out. I assume they were allowed a certain percentage of the ground, and they will have just sold their tickets. But it would have been very hard for like stewards to kind of control that, because like you say, you can't say that's your spot there, that's my spot there. But we're very lucky to have the ground that we've got, to be honest. We've got a good system in place to try and get as many fans in as possible. I know we were quite close to the capacity mark last time, but luckily we're looking to get around the same capacity again. But yeah, our system works really well. Everybody that's working at the club is doing everything to fit as many fans in as possible, and the online system's working well. So yeah, I'm grateful that we are actually an all-seater club and an all-seater stadium, because it makes our lives a little bit easier.
Excellent. Right. I think we've solved one or two little glitches behind the scenes that you won't have seen. So we now move on to award number 5, which is, we called it a recognition award. And this is for people, if you like, who go above and beyond the call of duty in their workings for Notts County. And we had a couple of the journalists on this. We had 1 or 2 other people on this as well. And this, it wasn't quite an Eli Sam landslide, but there was one pretty big convincing winner that we had for this category. And in reverse, the top 3 for it were Lee Curtis from the Nottingham Post was in 3rd, Charlie Slater, who's been on the show, in 2nd place. But the big winner, and I think very well deserved, the winner of our recognition award is Mr. Dan Westwell. Dan, how are you?
All right, thanks. You?
Good to hear your dulcet tones. We normally see you behind a big telephoto lens, don't we? Perched over the stand. Yeah. So congratulations, overwhelming choice of our viewers and listeners. I think it is absolutely very fair to say, you do go above and beyond the call of duty in what you do, connected not just with Notts, but a lot of the other football photography that you've chosen to pursue as a career for yourself. Many congratulations.
Thanks ever so much.
Yeah. What because you've clocked the miles up this year, haven't you? Up and down the country.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What's it like? A lot of the Notts fans know you now, don't they? You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you take the photos for the last, I don't know how many years, but you take all the photos of the fans, don't you? You know, and you post them on the Facebook, and it's hugely popular. You know,
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. It was by accident that.
Go on.
It was a League Cup match, Notts away at Sheffield Wednesday. I think it was the first away game of the season, and I just thought I'll get some of the fans because it was a big occasion and it was a big following. So, because obviously I was there covering the match for the club, so I thought I'll get some fan stuff. So I just did about 20, 25 shots of fans, and it was when Ralph and Dane were on the media team, and I just sent it through to them, and I said, if stick that in an album if you like, and then on Facebook, and then people can tag themselves in, you know, if they want to. And then they went on, and it sort of like, it was like a mini explosion to start with. People were like, who's taking these? How did they get me? I'm not even looking. And the comments were brilliant. So I thought, I'm going to do that again. So the next away game on a Saturday, I did it again, and I took quite a few more. But I did it with my big lens from the side so that no one knew it was me. And it was brilliant because for the first probably 4 or 5 matches, no one knew it was me. They just kept saying, who's putting all these pictures up on here? We don't know who's doing it. And it was only then that when I got sort of outed, I then turned my lens and used my Zoom one and went round to the fans. And then that from there, it's completely exploded because obviously now everyone knows they all wait for me and they're all waving and shouting me. And then, like I said, I end up doing 80, 90, 100 fan photos now, probably a lot more than what I do for the match because they go down so well. And the notifications, they just go off the scale because obviously people tag each other in and share it and comment, and it's just brilliant. And it's good to see because, you know, when you look at other people's Facebook pages and they've got your photo on as their, you know, profile picture, it's like gives you a bit of pride because you're sort of like, oh, I took that, you know, and it's nice that people like them enough to do that. So it sort of exploded really from way back then.
Now, given my own background, journalism, PR, football, a lot of people will not realise how many hours you put in. So if you're on an away match day, you know, and I and other Notts fans have seen you all over the country, you know, from Newport to Carlisle.
Yeah.
It's one thing to travel there, do the match, travel back, but you've got quite a few hours putting all these photos together and uploading them, etc. Correct?
Yeah.
How many for a long distance trip? How many hours from start to finish, uploading photos and everything?
Let's try and think. Well, normally if I can, I'll go for long journeys. I'll go on the like official supporters bus, or with a friend so that I can work on the way home. But obviously this year I've not been able to. So I could, for say Weymouth earlier in the season, I did that all in one day. So I left here. So I live like near Mansfield. So I left about, I think it was about just before 7 in the morning to get down to Weymouth because obviously I didn't want to get stuck in traffic and stuff.
Yeah,
I did that. Did the game. Just stayed in Weymouth to get some fish and chips, as you do when you buy this inside, and then drove back. Got home about, I think it was about 10:30, and then I did all the match pictures till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then, till about 4 a.m. But then my eyes just stopped focusing. They were like, you know, I couldn't see what I was doing properly, so I went to bed then. And then I came back about 9 o'clock in the morning and I did a couple more hours. And because it's not just like editing them all, you then, for like the Nottingham Post, you've then got to put all the text on them. So who's who and what they're doing and all that as well. And you've got to try and think, what will they need quickly, which you do during the match. That's why a lot of people will see me on my laptop during the game. because obviously, so if a goal goes in or a red card, they need it straight away for the blog or on live blog. The club need them for obviously half time when they tweet out the half time score. So that's what I'm doing during the game. Then at the end, at full time, I'll send any goals, celebrations, red cards, bookings, brilliant saves and that. And then the rest of them, when I get home, will be like stock photos or pictures that are not urgent, if you like. So, and that's past year has been that, and that's without even doing the fan photos, which take just as much time. Normally, if I get back from a match, I'm probably doing the fan pictures. Take me about 4 to 5 hours to edit and get up on Facebook, and then I'll start the match ones as well. So,
a good question, and I'm not going to embarrass you, but you know, I know how little you don't get paid for this. Okay, and that's between me and you.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal dedication. What drives you to do it? Genuine question.
I just love doing it. It's if I've not got a game, if I'm not like doing the Notts game or any other games around here, like when we was all in complete lockdown and the season was curtailed, the local clubs around here were still playing at the time. They were letting fans go in. So, like say Reneth, Blythe, teams like that were still playing. So on a Saturday afternoon, I was putting on Twitter saying, "Who wants me to come down? I'll come and take some match pictures for you." And you know, just because I just love doing it. I hate being at home on a Saturday. So, and I had a few of the managers say like, "Yes, please, we'd love it." You know, so I ended up doing those. I did quite a few at Reneth and Blythe and AFC Mansfield and Clipston. Just did the matches for them, and then just sent them all the photos for them to use for their social media or for the Facebook or the program, whichever they wanted to do, and just do that because I just love doing it. So, and the fan pictures for Notts, I know what it means to a lot of people, especially like we saw earlier on with Lorraine not being with us anymore. I've got so many photos of Lorraine over the years, and now that it shows to me just the value in them. You know, because Kim and Dan used a couple. They did a slideshow at the funeral when we was at the funeral, and a couple of the photos on the slideshow, because obviously most were family, but a couple of them on there was like ones I took of her and Kim in the stands, and I was like, oh my God, because you don't realise, you know. I was like, yeah, of course, that's something that they can like treasure, if you like, forever. And it was just, you know, just I was walking past, they wave at me, I just take a photo and I carry on. I don't really give it much thought until, you know, things like that happen. And that's happened on so many occasions where we've lost people, not just here, at other clubs as well. And they've like said, "Oh, you took a photo of my granddad," or, you know, can you send them me? So I was like, yes, I'll go and find them out and then send them through to them. And so yeah, so it just sort of, I think that sort of gives you a boost as well. So that sort of keeps you going. But I just love taking pictures. It's just
very good. Every picture is a memory, which you enunciated it very well there. You know, you think back to, I don't know, Dead Poets Society, you know, Carpe Diem, when Robin Williams is walking around the corridors and he points to a team group or school class group. You know, what are they all doing? You know, they're all pushing daisies up now, but look at the expressions, look at their faces 82 years ago or whatever it was. A picture, that's what a picture does, isn't it? Every picture is a living memory. Here's one for you. Best Notts photo you've taken. Is there one? Is there one that springs to mind?
You sprung this one on me. I didn't have a clue. If I was going to choose one now off the cuff, it would be the Mike Edwards overhead kick when he scored at Darlington.
Darlington, Tuesday night. More Notts fans in the ground than Darlington fans.
Yeah, because that was the night that like the title was sealed. it was a brilliant night because obviously it went all well for Notts. I got some brilliant fan photos, and it was just sort of like, if you were going to choose one thing that's sort of never happened and would never happen again to take a photo of, what would you choose? And it'd be like, oh, Mike Edwards doing an overhead kick, and scoring, because like I showed him on the laptop after the match, and he was like, oh my God, I can't believe you got it, because he obviously didn't realise that I'd got him doing it, because he couldn't believe it, he'd done it himself, because his face when he'd scored was, did I really just do that? So I'd probably say that.
This one, I might embarrass you if you didn't get it. Did you get the Eli Sam moment?
I wasn't at the game, wasn't there.
You're all right then. You're all right.
So we got away with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, it's been very interesting talking to you. And a lot of the stuff, we don't rehearse any of this. I only got hold of you literally half an hour before the show, didn't I? So you knew nothing about this. And I like to try and keep things as live as possible. It's very interesting, some of the answers you've given to me, because if I didn't know them, you can be sure 99% of Notts fans didn't know. So it's very interesting. It's very revealing. A very, very worthy recipient of our recognition award. So as soon as we get the award, I'll be giving you a shout. And in my experience, the one thing photographers don't like and that you never see are photographs of photographers. Are you like that?
I can be, yeah.
Yeah, the number of times I've worked with photographers, and you never see a photograph of a photographer. They're all camera shy. They don't want to be on the lens.
The only time I do them is like, sometimes I'll do like selfies at football matches, and that's about all I do. But to be honest, I've been doing this for like 26 years, and I've never ever won anything. So this is the first thing I've ever won. So that's
what this is about.
Yeah. So this is amazing. It's like, never expected this to happen. It was brilliant seeing my name nominated. I was like, wow, I've been nominated for something. It's brilliant. And then so this is like even better. It's amazing.
Dan, richly deserved. We're going to move on for another couple of awards now. Delighted you could join us. We'll be getting the award over to you, and we'll have a photograph of it as well, you with the trophy. Will you be there Saturday or not?
Yes, I think I will come down Saturday. Yeah.
Good.
If I get a pass, because I don't know how many they're allowed in. Yeah, right. I have applied for one.
You were at Bromley, weren't you? Because the highlight of the game was what was it? The Bromley Stadium cat or something?
Yeah. But this cat it just walked in the ground, and I was like, oh. So I took photos of it, put them on Twitter, and I've had loads of Bromley fans today saying, I can't believe you don't know him. He's the managing director, and he's been here for 10 years. Apparently, in one match, he actually laid on the pitch. He wouldn't move, and so that's to stop the game, get him off, and then do the game again. Yeah, and I didn't know any of this till today. It's all on Twitter today. All the Bromley fans, I can't remember what they're called. They even told me his name. He's been there 10 years, apparently.
Gareth, is it?
Gareth, that's it, yeah, because apparently it was, they had a lad playing for them at the time who'd got ginger hair called Gareth. And when the ginger cat walked in, they were like, oh, we'll call him Gareth after one of the players. And it took ever since, but I couldn't believe it when he went to the door, and I nearly said to the steward, oh, he wants to go in for a beer. She just opened the door and he just strolled into the bar. And I'm like, am I seeing things? It's crazy. And obviously, he more or less lives there. Yeah.
Wonderful stories, aren't there? Wonderful stories.
Brilliant, yeah.
But Dan, it's been brilliant catching up with you. Thank you ever so much indeed. Be in touch with your trophy, and we'll get a photograph of you. Very, very well done, and delighted. The title of this award is a recognition award. From what you've just outlined there, it's great that our fans, through us, can show you a little bit of well-deserved recognition.
Yes, thanks ever so much for everybody voting for me, and thanks to you for nominating me as well.
Our pleasure. Okay, Dan, thank you very much indeed.
Cheers.
There we go. There's a ginger tom cat at Bromley. Have you come across the Notts County dog at Meadow Lane, Chloe?
I actually haven't. I've never even heard about it. So go on.
Dog. Yeah, I think Jason's. Chief Executive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I do know what you mean. I know exactly who you're on about. Yeah, Yeah, he's so cute, bless him. But I've seen lots of photos of him. I haven't actually seen him in person, but I have seen lots of photos.
Right. I think he wanders around the inner sanctum. I'm not sure if he's allowed in the ticket office. Okay. We have got, well, we're still more or less on time here. So we have got 2 categories to go. Pundit of the season. And so this is we are very grateful, my son and I, for everybody that commits their time voluntarily to join us on this show. Chloe and Beth obviously included. And so we put down the people that appear for us on a semi-regular basis for the inaugural Pundit of the Year. And this was pretty close. Lee Curtis was in 3rd. Beth, you were runner-up.
Brilliant.
It's one of them where you don't know where to give it there.
I'm very happy with that.
Well done. The winner, who unfortunately cannot join us tonight because he's on a meal out, so he couldn't join us, is Mark Stallard. So Mark wins our Pundit of the season. All our pundits are very good. And they all have their own fan bases and supporters. But I think probably across the board, Mark has universal respect, clearly doing the work that he does for BBC Radio Nottingham as well. Comes across as very educated. Yes, he has Not's best interest at heart, but he's always extremely objective. And having worked in this industry for a long time myself, Mark chooses not to necessarily wish to progress further up that pecking order. But for me, he is absolutely every bit as good as any of our national media pundits who are commentating on professional football. Beth, you'll have worked with Mark a few times. Speaks very well, doesn't he? You would be too young to remember him playing, though.
Yes, speaks amazingly. A really, really nice guy. And I think that, like you said, goes across the board with everybody. You know, even this on tonight, I've made some nice friends, and you know, even Donna Reardon that was on the other week now keeps in contact with me regularly every week. Kind of, are you at the game, or are you watching Update Me? It was last Saturday at the Weymouth game. You messaged me, you said, "Are you there?" And I was like, "Yeah, but are you?" And he was like, No, I couldn't get the stream. He was like, "Will you update me?" So I was like, we were scoring and we got the penalty and he was going, "Ruben?" I was like, "Yeah." So it's just stuff like that. It's been fantastic to be a part of. But yeah, Mark Salah's a great speaker and very well deserved.
Yes. Beth, you're kind of our newest recruit, aren't you? You have your own fan club as well. You will have come across Mark, and I don't know whether you can pick up BBC Radio Nottingham when you are in Manchester, but he does speak very well. He's genuinely very good. I think.
Yeah, he's definitely very good at his job, and that's shown in the podcast. Like you say, just to echo everything everyone said about him, that he's just great to listen to, and he's got a lot of knowledge and stories and all the rest of it. I can hear him through the stream because obviously we have BBC Radio Nottingham on our stream, so it's great to listen to him, and yeah, all the stories. But yeah, it's definitely well deserved.
Okay, right. We will now move on to the Golden Magpie Award, which is the Player of the Season. This was the most closely contested of any of the awards. And there were literally about 10 votes separating the top 4 or 5 in this category. So before we announce, and neither Chloe nor Beth know, only my son and I know at this moment in time, but we're going to put you on the spot. So Beth, who would your vote go for Notts County Player of the Season?
It's a hard one. I think in my head, for different qualities, I could choose at
Okay,
least.
who are the main 2 or 3 for you then? Then we'll try and whittle it down.
I mean, Doyle's in there. I think maybe he just tips it for me for his contribution in sort of every aspect, or the whole season. Do you know what I mean? It's not been here or there. He's not been inconsistent. He's stepped up as assistant when he's needed it. He's had that arm around the players if they've come off or been upset. He's been there, with Enzio, with what happened to him. He's, tries his best. He runs his socks off every game. He's a great player. If I was forced to choose, I'd probably say Doyle. But then there's people like Wotton, Dion Kelly. I can't. It's a tough one. I think there's been so many. It just shows the quality we have in the side, to be honest with you, to the fact that it is so close, and that's reflected in the votes being so close, and that's very much what it's like in my head. But I'm predicting Doyle coming out on top.
Okay, Beth. So you've gone for Michael Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe,
again, it's a difficult one, and for different reasons. You could say Ellis for how he's played since he's been here. Again, with Ruben, I just kind of look at it from a whole season's perspective, because I think in my head it's too difficult to go on individual performances, in the last month. So as a season as a whole, it has to be Dion Kelly-Evans for me. I think he goes unrecognised quite a lot, and he's just been consistent all the way through the season. For someone at his height, he matches up to anyone, and I think he doesn't really get the credit that he deserves, but I don't think it phases him at all. But for me, you can say Doyle again with everything that he's done, but I would say Dion it is for me.
Okay, so we've got 1 vote for Dion. We got 1 vote for Michael Doyle. So I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Okay, Callum Foster, got to be Dion Kelly-Evans. No one else comes close for me. That's Callum. Nathan Chambers says Connor Rawlinson is my player of the season. So I think it's fair to say there's a spread. There's a spread. So in reverse order, we had I think it was 6 players that we put on the nominations list. So in 6th, Sam Slocum. In 5th, the Magpie Circle sponsored, I'll get that in, Mark Ellis, but see, no favouritism because he hasn't won it. Okay, he hasn't won it. 4th, and there was only 1 vote separating these 2, Kyle Wotton. 3rd was Ruben Rodriguez. 2nd, and there is a clue if you look in the background of the shirts. 2nd, Michael Doyle. And the winner, you have a 6th sense on these things, Chloe, Dion Kelly-Evans. So congratulations to Dion. Beth, what about your thoughts on Dion and the award?
He's been absolutely phenomenal. He's been phenomenal every single game. For me, every game he's played, he's been the most consistent of everyone, I think, based purely on performance. Someone said it just now, just read a comment, he gives 110% every single game. And I think, a lot of players do that, but he just has something about him. I think he goes out to prove himself every single minute of the entire game. Like Chloe says, there's factors. He's smaller than most of the players, but you don't see him not running into a challenge or absolutely diving in when needs to be, or he doesn't bottle a header, nothing like that. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I think he really sums up what kind of the modern day win back and the amount of running and the hard work you really have to put in, and even off the ball work that lots of people might not even pick up. I think he's an excellent player. It's well deserved again.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if you were looking in terms of an overall consistent approach for the whole season, then I think Dion is your Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable, giving absolutely every last ounce. I thought he was very, very unlucky to be left out on Saturday. and we lost. And if I remember rightly, when Ian Birchinall first came into the club, Dion was also left out, wasn't he? If I'm right, Chloe, and because we had a spell of playing Enzio as a right wing back, didn't we? And Dion came back in. His inclusion coincided with the run that we went on, and I'm guessing that Dion was left out on Saturday because of his height and knowing that Bromley were going to put a lot of balls into the box and have a lot of very tall players. For me, I was surprised even then that he wasn't played in the right back slot, even then, allowing for the fact you bring Rawlinson in. But I think he has done incredibly well over a consistent period. And I can hardly think of one bad game that he has had this season. It will be interesting, Beth, I think, team selection Saturday, because it was he did 3 games unbeaten. Sorry, three games unchanged team. We changed, we lost. Be interesting to see whether, I think the manager's got a big selection dilemma Saturday, a big one.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I was shocked he wasn't in, and I think he has the right to maybe think, oh, we lost and I wasn't on. I think that's what would be going through my mind a little bit, as naturally as a player. But I don't see particularly losing out when he's on, even in that kind of height, especially because we've had Brinley fill in a little bit and he's been doing a great job, and he's going to be a tough one to decide, isn't it? He's got a tough job in his hands. I wouldn't like to be in that position. I'll say that, but who knows what's going to happen? But I was shocked, and to be honest, I probably would have continued with the formation and the selection. We mentioned last week, didn't we? Is he going to put Connell back in? Is he not? And I probably would have argued the other way of kind of keeping it the same. But hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? We could have absolutely smashed Saturday and we've been like, oh yeah, I fancy that. But tough decision. Wouldn't like to be him.
Yeah. Keith Cook says DKA without doubt. Ben Hawksworth says Slocum. Jurgen Halligan, I wouldn't like to play against him, and I'm 6'3". I bet Dion would probably quite like to play against you, Jurgen, unless you're on your big motorbike going down the week. He'd probably stick something in your spokes, wouldn't he? So your motorbike wouldn't be working for very long. Jurgen said I would have gone for Doyle. Finbo official, mine either Dion or Doyle. Now, we're not going to compromise you, Chloe, because when you're selling tickets in the ticket office, you don't want to be commenting too much on team selection, because you never know who's watching. You never know who is watching. But as a young fan, and I seem to remember you put a tweet out a few weeks ago, or it might have been a month or so ago now, before we were really doing particularly well again. And I think it was something like, someone from Man City had posted something saying however many Champions League finals, League Cups and everything in the last 10 years. And I think you as a 19-year-old was something like 2 relegations, dropped out the league, etc. So I guess, this is a playoff. This is what it's all about. As and both of you are young, but, something to really, really enjoy and savour and enjoy the whole countdown to kickoff, Chloe, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of them. Past couple of seasons, we've been in playoffs a couple of times, whether that be League Two, whether that be National League, and it hasn't quite worked out yet, but this time might be a charm. It's great that this time we can be there every step of the way, whether we go out on Saturday, whether we get to the final, that we're involved this time. So it's a great help, but I'm already nervous for Saturday, and it doesn't help that I'll be probably in at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I've got the whole weight of actually being in the ground for hours, the fans coming in, and I've still just got to sit there patiently waiting. But it's just looking forward to it now. Nerves will be out the way, and hopefully a win on Saturday, and we'll all be ready to tune into the Torquay game.
Beth, assuming You get your tickets tomorrow. You will likewise be savouring the countdown and the atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Chloe said, I think we're sort of the same age, same era, and it's historically we have that kind of fallback of if things are going well, something's got to go wrong because it's not. So there's always that in the back of your mind a little bit, but surely it's our time. I think we've got the confidence. I'm completely confident. I think at the moment, we had a little bit of a blip on Saturday, but like we said, everything happens in the last game of the season, random results. I think momentum, the boys and the quality we've got and the positivity around the club, the fans in, home game, I'm really, really confident we can do it. And it'd be just to top off a really torrid year, everyone being in the same kind of area zone, there for the common cause. I'm very emotional about the whole thing, but it's fantastic, isn't it? And the build-up's just as good as actually being there, to be honest.
Ballum's just joined us. Good luck in the playoffs. I will try to catch your matches. Will you do a live show next week? Yes, we will be, and we will have another live show Wednesday when we will drill down into a little bit more detail the whole Notts County Chesterfield matchup. And we hope to have one or two special guests for that one. I'm sure you can all think of a certain manager who's managed both clubs. We'll see what we can do. Paul Edgar, just a pity we are dealing with COVID. Otherwise, the lane would be full Saturday. Look, it's absolutely brilliant that we are going to be there. But it is interesting, hypothetically, Chloe, what sort of crowd with a full capacity we would have got for Notts County versus Chesterfield in a playoff. I would have thought Chesterfield would have guaranteed to have brought 4,000, just down the road. I mean, you would have certainly have been looking at a double figure game. Certainly been looking at a double figure game. I mean, you will have seen it firsthand this week, the huge interest and appetite to buy tickets, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I just look back on games we've played with them previously, and it's always been a bumper crowd, whether that's in a league game and you're both mid-table or whether that's top v bottom. It's always been a big fixture, and it's always been a great atmosphere as well. So even though it's only 4,000, it will feel like a lot more. And don't get me wrong, it will massively help that there isn't any Chesterfield fans. So I'm glad that there isn't any, to be honest, and that it is all Notts. But yeah, it'll be great because it looks fuller as well with everyone spread out. So all corners of the ground, and a lot of people that everyone says, oh, the noise really comes from the Kop, but a lot of people won't be able to get their Kop tickets. So the atmosphere is spread around the ground. So we can't complain too much that we're getting to go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Beth, Chloe, smiles on faces. Thank you, everybody, tonight for the awards that we've been able to make. Thanks to all of your votes. My thanks to my lad Harry. This is basically, people give me all the credit, but really it's all down to him. You just see my ugly mug on the screen answering or asking the questions. So I hope you've enjoyed our first full awards show. Congratulations to all of our winners. We look forward to presenting you with your trophies. Thanks as always to Beth and Chloe for joining us on a bank holiday Monday. We will be back. Oh, hang on. There's one thing I forgot. Right. Yes. Son.
Oh, yes.
Which one of these two? Who is, I forgot the winner of the shirt. No one even reminded me. And right. Okay. The winner of one of these two shirts, and I believe he went for the Duffy shirt. So that halves it down. So the winner of this shirt, which is like gold dust, to be fair. It's got all the proper badges on, FA Cup and everything, as you can see there. Okay, so these are unique with the William Hill logo. The winner is Max Roberts. So Max, we will be in touch with you. I'm sure you will probably be in touch with us very quickly as well on your direct YouTube account and your other access to us. Congratulations. This shirt, which is very unique, as we've said, and as many people have said, just be careful when you wear it the first time, you don't fall down the stairs. Okay, I'll get myself into trouble for that one. But anyway, congratulations, Max Roberts, who is the winner of our Notts County FA Cup shirt. Mick Dundee, can't be his real name, but great show again, watching from Melbourne, Australia. Ballon, congratulations to you all. I think that wraps it up for this evening. Thank you ever so much indeed. We look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. And of course, to everyone else, we look forward to seeing us all together in Meadow Lane on Saturday at 4 o'clock